I don't know either.
Oh, it says you are live now.
Okay, yeah, we're live. All right, what's going on, Brownie? Yeah, so that ended up working out well. I went over there. We talked.
We're live now, so you got to say what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I thought it was a cold open that we were pretending like we weren't really talking.
Oh,
about.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I went on a podcast called On the Money Line. My buddy Matt and Casey the Kid, and they do like gambling shit, and they don't know much about hockey. It was actually funny because Matt was like talking. He's like, "Yeah, ice hockey." He's like, "Well, I don't know hockey, so I call it ice hockey." And I'm like,
"Yeah." He called it ice hockey,
which was fucking hilarious. I was like, you're not an expert in hockey when you call hockey ice hockey, and it was a good time. It was good. They asked me my top 5 like picks for the cup, like 5 people that you could see getting in, and I don't know if I did a good enough job. And this made me realize that I think it's kind of a crapshoot this year. But I go Toronto for sure, but they'll lose in the playoffs like they always do.
So then, how's that a cup contender?
Because they're a top 5. They'll be in mine. They'd be a top 5. My number 2, which is a wild.
I'm already at odds with you, but go ahead.
My number 2 is the Penguins because of Crosby, Malkin, Letang.
I can get behind that.
Carlson. Like the Penguins are a team that whenever the Rangers play, I'm like, fuck. Like I really don't want to have to play these guys. My number 3, I think my number 3 was Edmonton.
Okay.
Just because of McDavid, but again, they won't win because of their goalie. My number 4.
Actually, to interrupt you real quick, there's been some scuttlebutt that Edmonton might come calling for Ullmark.
Could see that. I still don't think I know he won a Vezina, but I'm still not convinced on him. He was on a really good team. My number 4 was Carolina. Just because they're always kind of a pain in the dick to play against. And then my number 5 was Vegas because they won last year and they know how to do it. I know it's hard to repeat, but those were like my 5.
Well, if there's one team that won't suffer the cup hangover, I would think it would be Vegas, just because they have to deal with the Vegas flu on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and they're always hungover. And I brought that up, the Vegas flu, because I was like, do you know any like betting things? And I was like, well, I know if a team has to play Vegas and they have the night off before they play Vegas in Vegas, I would probably bet Vegas. Like there's like a crazy stat about that. And they're like, okay. And I went into I'm really bad at betting. Like if I tell you to bet something, bet the opposite because normally that'll come in.
That's fair.
But the one thing I'm decent about is picking players' shots. So
that's the weirdest thing. And that's the weirdest brag ever too.
But you want to know what? If you want to make money, like the Rangers, Zibanejad's going to hammer the puck on the power play. If the Rangers play a team that is heavily penalized and his shots are at like 3.5, you take that.
I will say this about Zibanejad. I watched the Rangers opening game of the season. I didn't think he was in the lineup till the 3rd period.
Yeah, I mean, does that shock you, honestly?
No, but it shocks. Well, it does shock me because it surprises me every time. I'm like, this guy's talked about with the greatest players in the NHL.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Every time, I'm saying in all the NHL promotions, they promote Zibanejad for the Rangers all the time. And then when you watch the game, he disappears for like 40 minutes.
If you were to promote anybody on the Rangers, who would you promote?
Me personally?
I have 2. Not you personally, for the league, because you're going to say
you got to promote Adam Fox.
It's Adam Fox and Igor. Those would be my 2.
Shesterkin, and then I would say Trouba. If they were smart, they'd promote Miller and Lindgren. If I would just ISO camera Lindgren personally.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking warrior.
So Goodrow maybe.
Barclay Goodrow, yeah, dude. That's you want to know how to get more asses in the seats as you promote Barclay Goodrow.
3 people watching live till I said Barclay Goodrow.
Yeah, and then they left. So, all right, intro music. Let's do this thing.
The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles?
All right, welcome.
We are live.
We are so live right now. Not just like on a podcast standpoint, but we're actually live on Facebook and I think like Instagram and
Twitter, I just put it out while you were talking.
Yeah, I'm sharing it. We're just gonna start doing this. I think just because why the fuck not? See if we
keep us on our toes, baby.
I think so too. Plus, it'll like kind of ground me a little bit to not say anything so problematic. So that's pretty good. Welcome back, episode 3.
Let's test that out. So this weekend, I went down to P-Town.
Yep.
To a comedy
show. We already talked about this, and I think what I said to you is fine. P-Town is a notoriously known gay community, correct?
Notorious is the
Is that bad?
Well, Notorious has the stigma of like bad.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't mean see that's where that's your side and my side because I did not even think about that. That would be a bad. I meant
your
like
side or
it's
my
like
side. That's the definition of the word.
no, I don't. I guess maybe. Well, Conor McGregor's not bad and he's notorious. Biggie wasn't bad and he was a notorious Big.
But it's leaning into the bad boy thing. So I think that's where.
Well, gay
Well,
guys can't be bad boys
whatever,
too.
whatever. I was just trying to.
Gay guys can't be bad boys too, Brownie.
Well, actually, it was Women's Week, so I was.
Okay.
They didn't give
Gay
a
girl?
shit about me. The funniest thing is we're in the venue for the comedian Judy Gold, and we're in the venue, and she goes, what'd she say? She goes, any straight men here? And the woman in front of me, who I didn't even speak to when we were walking in or talk to at all, turns around and goes, right here. And I'm like, what? It was so funny. My wife was dying laughing. It was so funny.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
So
it was
you
a
had a
good
good time?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love going down P-Town. It was a fun time. We had a lot of drinks, a lot of food, a lot of walked all around. And we were down there for like, I don't know, like 10 or 11 hours or something. We had a blast, though.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, then the other thing I wanted to tell you, I watched on Netflix the David Beckham documentary.
Yeah, what do you think?
I thought it was really good.
It was awesome. I thought.
Oh, you watched it? All right. I didn't know if you had watched
Well,
it.
I thought didn't we talk about this last week?
You were gonna, and then we're gonna talk about it, but I didn't know if you followed through.
Yeah, dude, Posh Spice takes it in the ass. Don't you remember? That's like the chant that the crowd started.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's crazy that was like I don't know how many people, like 20,000 people chanting that.
Probably more. Those are huge stadiums. But dude, the I forgot how good he was at soccer. It's
I think
like
they made him
amazing.
sound better than what he was.
No. I was living down the Keys for a lot of that, and when I was down the Keys, all my friends were like English, Irish, Scottish. So I ended up learning a lot about soccer through them, and he was a legit. I mean, he was the captain of England in the World Cup.
Right.
And to think what he went through as a 23-year-old kid, holy smokes.
And like when he was the most hated player.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm talking about.
And then he was the captain the next time there was a World Cup. Like,
yeah,
it was great. Guys, this is a hockey podcast. So thank you guys for joining us. Episode 301. I want to give everybody a quick shout out who came on last week, episode 300. I thought that was very well done. I had so many people reach out to me about the crazy British dude, which I thought was fucking hilarious. It was awesome.
Can I tell you something about him? So I went to we went to Northeastern versus who did they beat? I'm blanking. Oh, it was a BU at Northeastern last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. And so he and I and his kids went. My daughter bailed at the last minute, so it was just his kids. But we're sitting there, and I'm sitting there talking with Katie Knoll's parents.
Yeah.
And we're sitting like I was sitting next to her dad in the stands. And we are just kind of shooting the shit. And they were telling me how they loved the podcast. It was so funny and everything. Yeah, thank you, Stick Taps. And I go, oh, did you like Alistair Poppycock? And they go, oh, he was so funny. I go, he's right here. And my buddy Johnny's like, hello. Like, didn't even miss a beat.
That was wild. I had so many people reach out. Hal texted me and was like, what the fuck was that? I was like, I
was like, I'm so glad I didn't answer Brownie's text.
Yeah, probably. The only thing that would have been better is if you had Hal dress up like Alexander Poppycock.
I can barely get Hal to respond to a text. Think I'm going to be able to get him to dress up?
You're not wrong. But yeah, everybody who came on, that was really, really cool. We appreciate you all. Yep. That was sick. I had a great time. Got a couple new followers on the gram. That was sick. So, but yeah, even more importantly, not that wasn't important, but the NHL season has begun, and it seems like things are starting to fall into place, dude. Life is starting to matter again. Like it's really, really good shit. My Rangers, I'm pretty happy about. I don't know how you're feeling about your Bees. I feel like you're probably feeling pretty good.
Undefeated. I mean,
there's been a lot of hat tricks. There's been a lot of shit going on. There's been some fucking good fights, dude. Branson went with Clem Costin the other night, which was sick. Shout out to Southpaw if you're listening to this. I know you watched that, you sick fuck.
Wi-Fi and Revo.
The Wi-Fi, yeah, that which
I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that this year.
No. But yeah, I mean, we have a ton to talk about. We're going to kind of do our little preview. We're going to go over some stuff, some mea culpas, and then
fire it up, man.
I think let's just kind of hop into it. So without further ado, let's do a little mea culpa, which by the way, she probably should have came on the pod for being
Yeah,
honest.
Mia, if you're listening, we missed you.
Yeah, like we're not mad, right? Brownie, you're not mad, just
disappointed.
Disappointed. So
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Kat and Brownie.
I think it's fucking hilarious that you found a girl named Mea Culpa to do Mea Culpas. That's awesome.
So the Bruins rookie center that I couldn't remember, his name is Matt. His last name is Poitrais.
Yeah, dude, he had a fucking assist first game, didn't he?
Yeah,
first goal of the year, yeah.
But I couldn't remember his name, and I've heard it pronounced Poitras. I've heard it Petrias. I'm just calling him Matty P.
Are you excited? Like, obviously, you're probably sad because Bergeron and Krejci is gone, but like, you have this kid, you have Beecher. Like, you're starting to see some baby Bruins. It's been a while since we saw some baby Bruins.
Agreed.
So, like, and I was texting Hal about it. I'm like, Beecher fit right the fuck in.
Yep.
And then
I'm going to be talking about him in the Bruins
point. So it was weird though for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I can't imagine what it was like for you, but
it was brutal.
It was definitely weird.
Yeah.
Patrice Bergeron coming back was at the first game.
Yeah.
So he'll be back on the team come deadline. That's like the classic fucking coward Boston thing to do. Take the whole season off and then fucking come in when everybody else is hurt.
Buddy, he's a family guy. Next year the cap's going up $4 million. So we'll see you next year, Bergie.
Okay.
All right. So Gabe Landeskog will miss the entire season this year after going cartilage replacement surgery in his knee, which I understand it was experimental, kind of. So good on him.
Not great. Right now, they're the
heaviest
favored team to win the cup right now, and
without Landeskog,
that's pretty crazy. And with Georgiev, so
I forgot about Jacob Markstrom's mask. I don't know if you saw this, Johnny Cash. It's sick. Remember we talked about mask. You don't like Johnny Cash?
I like Johnny Cash, but I think this is Jacob Markstrom trying to be the man. Do you think Jacob Markstrom actually has any idea who the fuck Johnny Cash is? Let's be real.
I would think so. If he has him on like both sides in the back, I think.
Okay.
I double checked this. 1979, both Bork and Bird won Rookie of the Year in their respective sports.
Still crazy. That's still fucking nuts, dude.
And had introductory press conferences. But Bird was technically drafted in 1978, but didn't play for the Celtics until 79.
Yep.
And just to put this in perspective, these are some other players that were drafted that year.
And buckle the fuck up because this list is unreal.
Yeah. Mark Messier, Don Mattingly,
Johnny Baseball, bud, Joe Montana,
Phil Simms, Magic Johnson, and then Bork and Bird. And Bork played for 22 years.
I have a problem with you putting Phil Simms in those names.
I just have him for historic perspective, just because there are so many people that listen to this podcast. So like that guy played.
That's fair. Okay. I thought like notoriety, that guy doesn't sniff.
No, not at all. But he's on TV.
Did he win a Super Bowl?
Phil Simms, the Giants.
Yeah. How many?
One, I think.
Okay.
And this one I forgot for the NHL couples. I don't know how we forgot this. Friend of the podcast, Taze Thompson, Northeastern forward and all around good kid. Her and Tage. Taze and Tage.
They're dating?
No, but remember we were saying NHL couples like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Taze and Tage.
So
actually, they're friends, so I don't think they would date. But
I've talked to girls who have been married, and they say it's a pain in the ass to change their name and all that shit. And like,
she wouldn't have to.
Some do. Like, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I put on there.
Yeah.
So Taze, if you're listening, I apologize if that's awkward because I know your families are very good friends. But
yeah, and Taze, if you're listening, thanks for coming on last week. Wait, okay. So we're gonna do NHL in the news now. Before we get into this, you and I have to talk. I'm going to pull up my schedule. We got to figure out what game we're going to because the premier power forward and the captain got me fired up.
Yeah, man.
I am like, and I'm hoping I get some gear. Carp,
if you're listening. Yeah, you put it this way. The fact that he said that you'll get gear when you show up means I'm not getting gear till you show up. So he's probably got a bag. I know Carp. He's probably got a bag sitting in his office under his desk somewhere. And he's like, I'll give it to these guys when Ket ever shows up.
Thing's got cobwebs on it, like dipspit.
But I will say, I got quite the press pass this year. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I think they gave me a little
Should we
more
wait to talk to Northeastern? I can't wait to hear about. Dude, you have you first started this Northeastern thing, and I was like, okay, like whatever, like kind of let them do it. Now I'm fully invested. Like,
it's hard not to. It's a great program, and everyone involved is great.
I think I still have a semester left of eligibility for club hockey too. So
I told Carp I had like two semesters, 2 years left, probably.
Can you imagine if I went back to grad school at Northeastern? Act like they would even fucking let me in. That's a joke. All right, Barry Melrose, not a joke.
No,
has Parkinson's disease, stepping away from ESPN to spend more time with his family. Barry Melrose, you remember him? Sick hair.
Yeah.
I think when I think mullet, I think of Barry Melrose. When I think of shampoo, I think of mane and tail. Just a fucking very well put together man. Adirondack hockey legend, which is like a little bit north of us. He was the owner of the Frostbite. That was like an IHL team, which was essentially just a bunch of big dudes just beat the shit out of each other. I learned this today on the podcast I was on earlier. He coached the Adirondack Red Wings to a Calder Cup in 91, 92. I didn't know that. Did some coaching with the Kings, but Barry Melrose, I think he was also in the movie Mystery Alaska. Pretty sure he made a cameo. Maybe. He was the one who was like, the Rangers shouldn't have to do this. This is a joke.
No, that was that fucking dunce, Ed Olczyk.
No, Ed Olczyk was not in Mystery Alaska.
You don't think so?
Not a shot, dude. Barry Melrose has so much more clout than Eddie Olczyk, at least back then. And back then, that's when clout mattered to me. But T's and P's to Barry Melrose, by all accounts, a really good dude. Sucks. Fucking brutal.
I figured I'd get the serious ones out of the way at the top.
Oh boy, okay. NHL Pride Tape. The NHL came out and said that Pride Tape is not allowed. That this is not covered in the PBA, and it's unclear what the punishment fine can be or if a player chooses to use Pride Tape. Connor McDavid, Brad Marchand, and Brian Burke have all spoken out against the ban, and some players have made statements that they will continue to wear the tape.
You want to go? Or you want me to?
I'm not. You can go.
I understand if you don't want to make the entire team wear a pride jersey or indigenous nation or Spanish heritage or Latin American Heritage Month.
By the way, shout out to a girl, Izzy, that I worked with when I was working in Nashville. She designed Nashville Predators.
Hispanic heritage.
Yeah. She put on LinkedIn.
I will say, I'm not like a jersey guy. But the Hispanics heritage usually are the best ones because they're like all day.
They're the Day of the Dead thing, like kind of theme, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So my issue with this is if you want to take away the jerseys, take away the nights, that's the NHL's thing, and they are not mandating anyone to wear them, right? That was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like when Provorov declined to wear it, he wasn't mandated to wear it. Well, if you're not going to mandate the guys to wear it, then how can you mandate them not to use the tape? You can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If they want to wear the tape in warm-ups, then wear the tape.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. We're live. I just don't really care.
No, that's fine.
I like watching hockey. I like fucking seeing hockey news, and I don't know if that makes me a bad dude, but I watch hockey to separate myself from what the fuck else is going on in the world. And I wish that people would just report hockey. Like that's. But I also feel really bad for people that are offended by this. Right. Is that okay? Like I genuinely
you can have more than one feeling at a time.
Yes, for the people who genuinely are upset about this, I'm really, really sorry. I just also feel like there's a ton of people that are pretending that they're upset about this.
That's fair,
and that fucking pisses me off.
That's
where fair. I would rather fucking hear about other shit.
People are hijacking it for the emotional, like.
Yeah. Dude, like fucking Austin Matthews scored back-to-back hat tricks the first 2 games of the year, and we have like fucking Greg Wisniewski being like, "Pride tape isn't allowed." Yeah, like,
I personally would rather talk about pride tape than Austin Matthews. So,
well, that is fair, but I do feel really bad for people that are affected by this. But like, dude, I just kind of want to watch hockey, and I don't know if that makes me an asshole. Sorry.
No, I think that's fine. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Do you actually? Would you tell me if you didn't think it was fine?
Yeah, I don't know if I would do it live, but. Although I guess I would. You know, I realized as I said that, I realized that. No, I would.
All right, Brownie, I'll talk to you after the show, dude.
You'd be like, oh, my phone's going off. Oh, Brownie. No, I think I would say I've told you plenty of times in the past of where I've disagreed with you. You know,
100%. So, I just want to fucking, dude, hockey just started, dude. The NHL's fucking back. Like, I want to talk about the shit that these dudes are doing on the ice, bro. The toe drags, the backhand sauce. the fucking big hits, the fights. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the same dude fucking tweeting out over and over and over again about this when, like, does he actually even give a shit? Probably
Are you
not.
talking about someone specific?
A ton of people that are specific about this.
All right, go ahead.
First suspension of the season. I know George Peros had to fucking get woken up from his nap. What a fucking coward that guy is. But Brett Howden, former Ranger, two games for his hit on Brandon Tanev. I would have given him a game. I don't know why 2 games. Like, I think
he's just trying to set the tone maybe at the beginning.
I don't. Brett Howden's not a dirty player. That's how.
No, I don't know. But Brandon Tanev is I don't know. I don't know what the rationale was for 2.
Like, I thought the Garnet Hathaway hit was way worse on Werenski.
I agree with you.
And Hathaway got dinged $5,000 for kneeing Werenski. I mean, dude, like, it was like a cross body, but like of thighs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
that's what ended Cam Neely's career.
Ulf Samuelsson, dude.
Yep.
Did he ever get a chance to get after him or no?
Once, and Ulf turtled. Did you know they had the same agent?
No, I'll have to watch the video. Was it good? Like, the Cam?
It wasn't. It ended up being blue balls for Neely, I'm sure. Okay. He didn't get him like he wanted to get him. Okay. But they had the same agent for a while, and the guy wouldn't even schedule them on the same day to come in the office. Ulf Samuelsson used to get the Boston flu every time they had to play the Bruins.
And you hate Samuelsson, but he on the Rangers, he was a great player.
He's dirty as fuck, that guy.
Ulf. Ottawa announced that Daniel Alfredsson will move into a player development coaching role with the team. This is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Like, kind of like the Mr. Perfect, I think.
Well, I think this was a long time coming due to the previous ownership.
And Alfredsson, if you remember, there's a clip. Remember when he fired a puck at Niedermeyer at the end of one of the games? It was Ottawa Ducks, and like all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
But
he's a bit of a savage.
Yeah. Matt Murray underwent successful bilateral hip surgery. Expect to miss 6 days. I don't care. Logan Cooley breaks
news. Hey, this one's really
Matt Murray's never news, dude. Stop pretending like Matt Murray is going to be the fucking number 1 goalie of an NHL team. Okay, bud. Dubas is gone. See you later. Logan Cooley breaks the Friday the 13th curse as he becomes the 14th player in NHL history to debut on Friday the 13th and the first to record a point. Coyotes played the Rangers last night. This Cooley kid's going to be good, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking blew around Keandre Miller, like gone. Like, and Keandre Miller, you and I both agree, a pretty good skater. So
let me ask you this: was Keandre Miller? Did he bite on a move? I didn't see it, but did he bite?
Went right around him.
Oh wow, okay.
Went right around him, and I was like, okay, the kid's got fucking wheels.
Oh yeah, he can play.
Sick. Arizona, like, I'm obviously the joke of the league, but like they have a lot of really good young kids right now, where like they're kind of fucking fun to watch. You know this Dursey kid?
Mm-hmm.
Dursey, I think he's a defenseman. Yeah. His name was popping up every 2 seconds. I don't even know if he's young or not. I've just never heard of him. I was like, who the fuck is this?
You have to stay tuned for the whole podcast to see if Ked puts him in his playoff bracket. How's that for a teaser?
Not a fucking shot, dude.
Arizona, you just blew the whole tease.
Well, I mean, that's not even a tease.
All right, fair enough.
Speaking of tease, who else was pumped to see Alex Killorn play for the Ducks? He's expected to be out for 4 to 6 after fracturing a finger in the preseason.
Did you hear how he fractured his finger?
No, was it sick?
Trying to lift his stupid fucking shoulder pads.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, holy shit.
No, because he's got those stupid shoulder pads.
He has the Scott Mellenby shoulder pads. Jamie Drysdale, we talked about him the last podcast or the one before. 3 years, 2.3. That's a pretty good deal for a young defenseman.
That's a really good deal for him.
He's going to be pretty good.
Team, I mean.
Frank Vetrano records his 4th career hat trick and first Hattie in Ducks history on their home opener. Speaking of good deals, I think I like what the Ducks did when they brought in Ryan Strome, Frank Vetrano. They brought in some veteran dudes that, you know, they clearly know they're not going to win a cup there, but you need to surround your young kids with people that aren't Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad, and that's what the Ducks did.
And I think for someone like Vetrano, who wasn't getting top 6 minutes, he was
for the Rangers. He priced himself out of New York.
Well, he played himself out of New York's price range.
Yes.
But he showed what he can do with top 6 minutes. Now he's going to be on power play 1, and he's living in Manhattan Beach.
What's he? The Springfield Rocket?
Springfield Rifle.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sick nickname, by the way.
Got the skyline of Springfield on a tattoo, I think, on his back arm. Anyway, I don't know.
Crosby got in a fight in preseason. Chris Letang took a hit from Payne Krebs and Tyson Yost. Crosby took exception, dropped the gloves after multiple cross checks. Sid hit the eject button. The pair wrestled to the ground, making Crosby's 9th fight of his career. So the podcast I went on earlier, I told him how much I appreciate Sidney Crosby's game, dude. I hate to play against him. And he's gotten way better through the years because he's really stopped whining. Like he's kind of taking that out of his game. But dude, he is such a good fucking hockey player, dude. It's insane.
Do you want to know what freaked me out? It freaked me out, but I was like, holy shit. So this year, you know how some NHL teams will put up the pictures of the guys throughout the years, their roster pictures. Crosby's got all gray in his temples. I was like, wait, that's Sid the Kid.
I know, but Sid, of course, Sid the Kid's going to be a silver fox. Isn't that what they call him? Like classic. Okay, not only does Sidney Crosby, now he's going to look like George Clooney. Must be fucking rough.
Probably.
Crosby, Malkin, Letang are now the longest tenured trio in pro sports. Starting their 18th season together, they surpassed Posada, Rivera, and Jeter. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, neat little stat.
I'm not reading this because there's a player in this I cannot stand, and I'm not bringing him.
All right. This next story is crazy.
The Mountain Kings,
New Hampshire Mountain Kings,
had a defenseman arrested during the first intermission of a recent NAHL game. Yahur Ramananu was arrested as he was picked up with an outstanding warrant issued 2 years prior when he was charged with aggravated assault with a vehicle. The 20-year-old was cuffed during intermission and taken to Cambria County Prison before being released on bond. The Journey tournament was played at Cambria County War Memorial Arena, made famous in Slapshot.
It all comes together that it was
street cred through the roof, dude. This kid must have felt like the fucking man.
Well, he might get deported, but sure.
I don't know. That's pretty fucking nails, dude. Hey, hold on, boys. I'll be back. I gotta go to the clink real quick.
He got bailed out that night on bond.
20 years old, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
The Converse have made history as the first siblings to be playing in the PWHL and NHL. As JT plays for Detroit and Jesse plays for Toronto. I didn't know that JT Confer was on Detroit. That's a good pickup for Detroit.
Oh yeah,
I like JT Confer's game a lot. He's like a perfect line forward.
Quietly stockpiled some very good players.
Yeah. Buffalo. They took out their checkbook. Rasmus Dahlin, 8-year extension, $11 million a year. Owen Power, 7-year contract, $8.35. So, I mean, that's a lot for a kid who literally just got in the league. But what I need to do,
that's $20 million between those
how much Adam Fox is making right now. So, Adam Fox contract, 7 years, AV of 9.5. That Dahlin contract is insane.
Yeah,
probably was this. Do we know if this is before or after they knew that the cap was going up?
I think it was after because that was at the Board of Governors.
That would make a little bit more sense, but Dahlin may be making more money than Adam Fox.
This is not in the document, but the cap was announced that instead of going up to $1 million that they were expected, it's going up 4 to 5. I
mean, that's good for a team that already has their team set that just wants to add a $4 million forward. Like that's sick.
What's Kevin? Is it Kevin Adams still the GM in Buffalo?
I think so. Keep talking. I got to take a piss. Keep going.
So he found the guys. He identified the guys he wanted, and he locked them up. I mean, he's got what? That's $20 million on 2 players, but he's covered for the next 7 years. He doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but like 2 players, it's gonna be 2 of your top 6 for the next however many years.
Right. Yeah.
So
7 years.
That mad about it, right?
And you're not gonna be able to add someone like that at the trade deadline, so they locked him up.
Never. And you got Tage Thompson. Skinner's probably going to be off the books in a couple of years, right? He's probably making good money.
Yeah, Skinner's still got that big ticket.
And he'll be gone.
And they got Levi on an entry-level contract in net, so.
So your team's essentially going to be Thompson, Cousins, Power, Dahlin, and Levi?
Tuck.
And Tuck?
Yeah.
It's not a bad 5, dude.
Not a bad core for sure.
No, not at all. Especially because they're all coming up with each other too, and they already know what it's like to suck. They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Joe Pavelski hit 2. Of course he did. Hit 2 hole-in-ones on the same hole on the same golf course, exactly 364 days apart, and looked as if he was wearing the same shirt. I mean, some people just have it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pavelski, supposedly he's good at like everything he does.
Yeah, that must be fucking nice. I didn't see this. Kirby Doc,
except for lifting cups.
Kirby Doc, torn ACL or MCL reports are saying it could be.
They're not saying
long
exactly
term.
what it is. They're saying it's a significant long-term lower body injury. And then I saw a report that said it was torn ACL and MCL. Kirby, keep your head up. I'm still skating with a torn ACL.
I like Kirby Doc.
Yeah, I do too. But hey, fuck the Canadians. So
Detroit, I don't care about that. That guy also doesn't deserve a mention. Zach Aston Reese.
Well, you just mentioned him.
The Heritage Classic and the most Canadian announcement ever. Nickelback will be headlining the musical acts at the Outdoor Battle of Alberta, as they should. Nickelback is a very, very underrated band.
All right.
Bad WHL. First suspended indefinitely and then fired. Wintachi.
Bonacci, yeah.
Kevin Constantine, after an investigation, determined that he violated WHL standard conduct policies by making derogatory statements of a racist nature. This is not his first coaching suspension after he suspended 4 games for making his players stay in their gear for a post-game meal and long bus ride home while coaching the Everett Silvertips. The firing came only after coaching 2 games. Rumors that he will be joining Mike Babcock's staff in the KHL. So obviously not okay. I don't hate the whole make the kids wear their gear on the way home.
Well, apparently it was like a 6-hour ride. It was
Fuck
a bit
'em.
much.
If they played like shit, fuck them. I love
I
it.
will say this. And
That's a
Coach
power
Carp,
move.
ready for this? Coach Carp might have been on the team. We'll have to ask him next time he's on. We had a game when I was coaching lacrosse where the team did not play well and they very much underperformed. It was not a very long ride, like 20 minutes. We came back home in the bus and guys had geared down, and we got back and we had called ahead to the maintenance. We're like, hey, turn on the field lights for us. It was a night game. And we pull in and the lights were on and everybody's like, why are the lights on? We're like, line up.
No,
We had them run gassers on the field after the game.
I like the whole fucking stay in your gear shit. Fuck them.
Yeah.
But racist thing's a little shitty.
But yeah, the racist comment is not
The racist thing might not be great, but
Yeah.
like the gear's not bad. Good WHL. Again, Liz's oldest son, NHL legend
I think
Jerome.
it's Tish.
Well, he's lighting up WHL, 7 goals, 3 assists, 6 games played for the Kelowna Rockets. Did you see that I sent you that on Instagram?
And then I responded to you that I already had it in the show
Yeah.
doc. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Derek Stepan. He retired 13 NHL seasons. Rangers, Arizona, Ottawa, Carolina, 890 games played, 182 goals, 333 assists, 515 points, 216 PIMs. Never had a minus season in the NHL.
That was a crazy stat to me that he never had a minus season.
He was on a really good Rangers team for a long time.
Still, though, he played in Arizona.
True. Plus 216 at another 55 points in 120 games in the playoffs. Second round pick, 51st overall, played at Shattuck before going to University of Wisconsin, and then he joined the Blue Shirts. He notched a hat trick in his first NHL game against Buffalo and Ryan Miller. I'm pretty sure Sean Avery had 2 assists on his goals. Stepan also led USA squad to a gold medal in the 2010 U20 IIHF World Championships. Derek Stepan is the player that you don't notice him, and then after the game, you look at the score sheet, he has 2 assists. Like, that's Derek Stepan.
Or he's also the guy that you don't notice, and then the next year he's elsewhere, and you're like, wait a minute, why are we getting lit up?
You know what held him back from being a premier superstar?
What?
He could not skate for shit. If he could skate, he would have been a household name, I think. Like, he was that good with how smart he was. He was a very, very smart player, and like he was just slow. He couldn't skate. That was in my opinion, that was what was holding him back. Connor Bedard scored his first NHL goal against Linus Ullmark. Linus, right? Linus Ullmark in a 3-1 loss to the Bruins. On opening night, Corey Perry showed he had his back in the game versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh mascot was taunting Bedard during warm-ups in the corner. The worm slammed himself into the glass in front of Iceberg, driving him out of the corner. So
you gotta love Corey Perry for that kind of stuff.
And Corey Perry scored last night against the Maple Leafs and pointed at Scotty Upshaw and Shane O'Brien in the corner.
Yeah. He also was going at it with Levo a bit. I don't know if you saw that.
I think we can also kind of agree, dude, that like this Bedard kid's gonna be a problem. Like he's a Crosby, he's a McDavid. Like that's the vibe I get from him.
Although I was listening to 32 Thoughts, and you know how Marek's really into the juniors.
Yeah.
There's another kid. There's a kid like 2 years away. I think he was a 2000.
They said Lafreniere was gonna be sick, dude. There's not been this much hype about a kid Bedard since McDavid.
Yeah, that's fair. But there's another one coming, apparently.
Well, hopefully the Rangers figure it out. ESPN's creating an NHL version of the NFL Red Zone called Frozen Frenzy. It'll air at 10:24 the night. All 32 games teams will play. Bucci set to host and show every goal, power play, and big hit. This from the hockey partner that still shows Patrice Bergeron on the Boston roster. Yeah, like ESPN, man.
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets, they signed both Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuck to 7-year extensions. AAV's 8.5. I mentioned this in the podcast I was on earlier. I would take, if I was for pound, this would be a team that I'd put, like, if I had money to, like, okay, whatever, this would be a team that I'd put on for a cup bet.
It's fair.
Yeah, it is what it is. City Life Project, Teddy, it's Isha. Hope all's well, buddy. Keep up the great work as always. Appreciated. Yeah, we got fucking followers, dude. AJ Greer claimed off waivers from Boston by Calgary. Reports have shown that he's already saying that growing up, the Battle of Alberta was his favorite battle, and that he was always a Calgary Flames fan, even though he went to 1,000 Edmonton Oilers games as a kid. So
I will
shout out
say
to
this.
him.
I will say this. Good for him because he was going to
Fuck
be.
him, dude. He's
No.
such a bitch, dude. I was a Bruins fan, even though I had season tickets to the Habs. He's a
I'm
fucking
sure it's hard for him to leave his childhood dream, but
he's a fucking loser, dude.
he's going to get quality minutes, and I think he can help in Calgary.
No, okay. Well, help this.
Do you want to start doing the previews, or do you want to do dump and change and come back? What do you want to do?
No, let's just do previews. We're flying through. We're already 37 minutes into this.
All right.
So Central Division, we're just gonna run them down. Arizona Coyotes.
When are you going to do your picks?
Oh, gee, mud on me. We'll do Western, then we'll do Eastern.
But then you want to do your picks at the end of the Western.
At the end of the Western, then we'll do
All
it
right.
at the end of the
Just
Eastern.
making sure I got my papers ready to go.
Arizona Coyotes added Logan Cooley, Jason Zucker, Alex Kerfoot, Nick Bukestad, and Matt Dumba. Honestly, those are all really good names added to your team. So
Yeah,
Arizona
for sure.
did pretty good in the offseason.
Yeah.
Chicago Blackhawks, Connor Bedard, Kevin Korchinski, and Lucas Reichel. They also Taylor Hall, Foligno, Perry, Athanasiou, and Donato. Also a team that's not that great. They added some pretty good fucking people.
I will tell you this. As much as Bedard's getting all the hype, this kid Korchinski is no slouch.
I have no idea who he is, but if you're telling me that, he's probably pretty good.
Yeah. Put it this way, he was out. He's out on power play 1, and I think he was out the other night when they pulled the goalie. But I could be wrong.
In terms of pressure and shit, he probably feels none. Like it's
Bedard.
Whatever he needs, so that he's probably like milking that shit up. Like
Defenseman though.
Good for him. Avalanche added Ross Colton. What another loser. Ryan Johansson, another loser. Tomas Tatar, another loser. Miles Wood, I like him, and Jonathan Drouin, another loser. So the Avalanche just picked the fucking biggest dickhead pussy boys in the whole league to put their team together.
Dude, Miles Wood is a beast, although they overpaid.
I said I like Miles Wood.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
Ross Colton's a prick to play.
He's a bitch, dude. And Ryan Johansson's the softest big man in the game. Tomas Tatar, I don't really have a problem with him. Jonathan Drouin, I have a problem with because I thought he was going to be sick, but I think he's just kind of like, he's just a little bitch. And then in camp backup, Pavel Francouz struggled and will miss time. Gabriel Landeskog out. They have Alec Georgiev, and right now they're the favorite team to win it all. So, okay. Dallas Stars added Matt Duchene, Sam Steele, and Craig Smith. Now that I know that Matt Duchene's on the Stars, now I know the Stars aren't going to win a cup. So that's kind of nice.
Sorry, Frank.
I was literally thinking maybe the Stars have a shot, and I just read that, and now I know for a fact that they're not winning the cup this year. So that's kind of nice. Predators, Ryan O'Reilly, Luke Shen, Gustav Nyquist, and Dennis Garadanov. They lost Johansson, Duchene, Tanner Jeannot, Matthias Ekholm, and Mikael Granlund. The only dude on that list that I'd be kind of pissed that I lost, Tanner Jeannot and Ekholm. Ekholm's fucking awesome.
You skipped Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, they added Patty Maroon, and they lost Ryan Reeves. Whatever.
That's a push, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Actually, I would rather have Patty Maroon on my team than Ryan Reeves. Patty Maroon he plays hockey. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Reeves is probably tougher, but Patty Maroon plays hocky.
That's fair.
How I would say that. The Blues added Kevin Hayes and Oscar Sundquist. They lost Ryan O'Reilly. Good luck, St. Louis.
Exactly.
Piece of shit. Winnipeg, Alex Iafallo, Gabriel Velarde, Rasmus Kupari, and they lost PLL and Blake Wheeler. I think the Jets got better.
Yeah.
Pierre-Luc
Dubois, when he wants to play, when he wants to play, he's a beast. The problem is he doesn't always want to play.
He does nothing for me. And
Blake Wheeler, I fucking love Blake Wheeler, but
he's definitely
his best years are behind him.
Definitely lost a step.
Yeah.
Pacific Division, the Ducks added Leo Carlson, Alex Killorn, Gudis, and Labushkin.
Yep.
The Flames added Igor Sharangovich, but they lost Tyler Toffoli and their head coach Daryl Sutter. Oilers added Connor Brown. They lost Yamamoto and Klim Kostin. I love Klim Kostin. The Kings added Dubois, Cam Talbot. They retained Gavrikov and Fiala. They lost Iafallo, Velarde, Kupari, Quick, and Korpisalo.
That's a lot going out.
Yeah. The Sharks added Hoffman, Granlund, Ruda, Duclair, Zadina, and Burrows. They lost Eric Carlson. The Kraken added Brian Dumoulin. I fucking love that dude. And they lost Yamamoto, and they added Yamamoto. They lost Martin Jones and Ryan Donato. So the Kraken got better.
That's an upgrade for Seattle.
Yep. The Canucks added Suter, Bluger, Cole, Susie. They lost OEL and have given Connor Garland permission to have his agent facilitate a trade. And then the Knights re-signed Barbashev and Aiden Hill. They lost Riley Smith. So I got to pick 8 teams from these. Like, I don't.
So you
think
got to
any of
pick.
them are that good.
You got to pick your top 3 in each division, and then a wild card from each division.
Okay, so my top 3 in the Central Division are going to be
The Central. Go ahead.
The Jets,
Yep.
the Wild,
Okay.
and the Stars.
Okay.
My 3 from the Pacific are going to be
You're
the
not doing
Oilers.
your wild card from there?
I'm going to wait until afterwards.
Okay.
My 3 from the Pacific will be the Oilers, the Kraken, and the Knights. Then I get 2 more of anybody, right?
No, it's 1 from each, I think. That's how I did it, because I think that's the way it is.
Okay, so my 1 for... Did I say Colorado for Central?
No.
Okay, Colorado will sneak in. And then for Pacific, I will do the Canucks.
All right, so you have Dallas, Minnesota, Winnipeg with Colorado as your wild card. I have Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. God damn it. I hate when we do the same. And I have Winnipeg as my wild card. In the Pacific, you have Edmonton, Seattle, and Vegas with Vancouver as your wild card. I have Edmonton, Vegas, Seattle, and the Kings as my wild card.
Okay. So pretty similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for those listening at home, we did these independently. So
I literally just came up with that on the
that
spot.
means neither one of us are probably right.
Eastern Conference. Here we go. Metropolitan. Carolina added Dmitry Orlov, Michael Bunting, Tony DeAngelo, and Brandon Lemieux. They lost Pacioretty and Domi. Where'd Pacioretty go?
You'll see. It's coming.
Okay. Columbus added Ivan Provorov, Damon Severson, Adam Fantilli, and Turf Babcock. They also moved Line to center. That's real.
Yeah, that's real. That's a low key. Could be a significant shift.
Yeah,
Listen,
that could be a huge shift. Dude.
Columbus needs to do whatever they can do to make this season positive now.
Yeah. Jersey added Tyler Toffoli and Colin Miller. They lost Ryan Graves, Severson, and Mackenzie Blackwood.
The best thing that New Jersey had happen is that Blackwood's gone.
Blackwood had a hell of a fucking opening night for the Sharks. I don't know if you saw that. It was like 52.
He used to have one good game every 12 for New Jersey also.
All right. The Islanders re-signed Bo Horvat and Julian Gauthier. The Rangers added Blake Wheeler, Jonathan Quick, Gustafson, and new coach Peter Laviolette. Philadelphia added Garnet Hathaway, Sean Walker, and Mark Stoll. Cam Axton, Sean Couturier are back from injury. They lost Ivan Provorov, Kevin Hayes, and Tony DeAngelo.
Hey, real quick, do you see Couturier's shootout goal?
Yeah, sick.
Oh, God, he's filthy.
Sick. Good for him.
Yep.
Pittsburgh added Eric Carlson, Riley Smith, Noel Achari, Ryan Graves, Lars Eller, and Matt Nieto. They lost Jason Zucker and Casey Smith. Jason Zucker is a player. Washington added Max Pacioretty and Sonny Milano.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Metro. Boston added JVR, Kevin Shattenkirk.
When you see all the players that are gone, this hurts a little bit.
They added JVR, Kevin Shattenkirk, Morgan Geeky, and Milan Lucic. They lost Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, Garnet Hathaway, Taylor Hall, Nick Foligno, Dmitry Orlov, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Connor Clifton. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Could be better. Buffalo added Eric Johnson and Connor Clifton. Detroit added Alex DeBrincat, Klim Kostin, JT Comfort, Daniel Sprong, Christian Fisher, Shane Gostisbehere, Justin Hall, Jeff Petrie, and James Reimer. I mean, those are some pretty good names there to help out a roster. Florida added Albert Ebner-Arslan, Nico Mikola, ex-Ranger, Mike Riley, and Evan Rodriguez. I hate him. Montreal added Tanner Pearson and Alex Newhook. Ottawa added Jonas Korpisalo and Vladimir Tarasenko. Tampa Bay added Connor Sheary, Calvin DeHaan, and Hayden Fleury. They lost Pat Maroon, Corey Perry, Ross Colton, Stamkos is pissed, and Matt Zaleski's out for 2 months. And then Toronto added Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi, Ryan Reeves, and John Klingberg. So for my Metro.
So before you go further, do you see how I have on the Rangers that
yes, you had 103, and for the Bruins, you had 100.
That's the points over under that Vegas set.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I just put that in there just to show you.
Okay. My Metro, I'm going to go Carolina, Rangers, Pittsburgh, and Jersey.
Jersey's your wild card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Atlantic, I will go. Wow. I don't really know what to go. Tampa. No. Toronto for sure. Toronto, Florida for sure. Toronto, Florida. Boston and Ottawa.
Ottawa's your wild card?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We have some differences here, I think.
Wait, who did I not take Tampa?
No.
I'm okay with that. Tampa misses the playoffs.
So we both have Carolina. We both have Pittsburgh. You have the Rangers and Jersey as your wild card. I have Jersey and the Rangers as my wild card.
Okay.
So right there. For the Atlantic, you have Toronto, Florida, Buffalo with Ottawa as your wild card. Where I have Florida, Toronto, Buffalo, Bruins as the wild card.
Okay. So we both have Tampa missing.
Yeah.
So you heard it here, folks. Tampa's going to win the cup this year.
And I will say this. I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason I have Buffalo instead of Ottawa in is because I have a future on Devin Levi winning the Calder.
The Northeastern difference.
That's it, baby.
All right.
So there you go.
There we go.
Wow, we buzzed right through that, man.
I mean, yeah, we're fucking wheeling and dealing, dude.
Oh,
Dump and change. So let's go to my little thing right here. I'm going to hit dump and change. 5 minutes.
Did Kenton pick that music too?
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the first one's a sad one. R.I.P. to Dick Butkus, the Hall of Fame linebacker, passed away at age 80. He was regarded as one of the most feared and respected players in the game. He played his entire 9-year career with the Chicago Bears. He was in 8 Pro Bowls, named first team All-Pro 6 times, and Defensive Player of the Year twice.
Is that good?
Yeah, no shit. In college, he was a 2-time All-American and inducted into the College Hall of Fame in 1983, as well as being named MVP of the Big Ten and Lineman of the Year in 1964. Upon his retirement from football, Butkus went on to have an outstanding career as an actor, spokesperson, and broadcaster. In 1985, the Downtown Athletic Club named an award for the best linebacker in the country, the Butkus Award, in his honor. Actually, my favorite dog, that boxer, he was named him Butkus after, like Rocky did, out of the Mastiff.
Cool.
So, I don't know if you saw this, Fo. The Bills played in London last weekend. They lost to the Jaguars, the Buffalo Bills. But for the game, the New York governor allowed Buffalo and surrounding areas to open the bars at 8 a.m. and if they wanted, to hold church services in the bars too.
Yeah, so that lady's a fucking idiot. I forget her name, but they did Women's Appreciation Day last year for the Rangers, and she went out there to drop the puck, and the entire arena booed her.
What? Oh, the governor?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea of her policies or anything. I'm just saying this was pretty funny.
She's an idiot. She did that to try to be cool.
Yeah, well, it worked because everybody in Buffalo got buckled. Last year, Sweden rolled out sexy garbage cans that have improved litter in the cities. When you put trash in a can, it emits audio that sounds like a woman being satisfied.
Like that?
Kind of, yep.
Kind of cool.
Sticking with more Buffalo, I didn't realize there was so much Buffalo. Can you tell I have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs in fantasy this year?
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs was fined over $13,000 for his Stone Cold Beer TD celebration. Did you see that?
They should have fined him $316, dude. That would have been way
that would have been hilarious. And lastly, Jenkins, Preston, listen up. The International Olympic Committee announced that 6 new sports will be added to the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles: baseball, softball, cricket, flag football, squash, and lacrosse. So lacrosse is in. That's it for Dump and Change.
All right. So
I thought this was going to be a much longer podcast.
Rangers time. The boys are 2-1. They won their opening night game against Buffalo. I think it was 5-1. I went to the bar with my buddy Cowboy, my buddy Dave, my buddy Matt.
You have a buddy? Hold on. You have a buddy named Cowboy?
No, it gets even better. His real name's Tony Soprano.
Shut the fuck up.
Swear to God.
How did you not get him for the fucking 300th?
I probably, yeah, but he wouldn't do that. Like this isn't his thing.
Just to come on and be like, hey, it's Tony Soprano.
We call him Cowboy because growing up, like when we would play beer league, like summer league, when we were really good, I got all like these college kids to come. He was my enforcer. Like if somebody pissed me off, I'd be like, "Hey, Cowboy," and he'd look at me and I go, "That guy," and he'd go, "Are you sure?" And I go, "Yeah," and he'd go out there and beat the piss out of him. Like he was our enforcer. I called him Cowboy because he was reckless and lawless, and he's a fucking beauty of a kid.
Big guy.
No, probably like 5'11", 185 pounds. Not big, but tough as fuck. would not. I would file him under do not fuck with.
Cowboy Soprano, shout out.
Or Tony, which is like sick. But yeah, so we went to Kings. They won 5-1. Then they got beat by the Blue Jackets. It was either 5-2 or 5-3. The easiest way to describe this is the Columbus Blue Jackets had 5 high danger scoring chances and they scored. Like the Rangers dominated the entire game. I felt like the puck was in Columbus's end the entire time. And then they went out and they beat the Coyotes last night. I think it was 2-1. The Rangers have a neutral zone now, which is going to surprise a lot of the league, which is like really fucking cool. Holy fuck. Our lines have like roles that they're supposed to do. I don't know what Laviolette did, but this team looks like they know how to play hockey. And it's something I haven't seen, even like when they went on that run with Gallant and like even last year, they would just kind of do whatever they wanted to do and it would like work. Now there's like structure and like really good structure.
Well, Laviolette's an X and O guy more than Gallant, right?
Oh yeah, Gallant was like, oh hey boys,
like get the boys fired
veterans,
up.
The veterans, you kind of run what's going on. The problem with that, and this is what I said on the other podcast, is when you have the veterans that are a bunch of fucking pussies, it doesn't work. So now you have a dude who's like, this is what we're doing. This is what I expect of you to play. He's kept the lines the same pretty much for the first 3 games, other than Jimmy Vesey and Pitlick kind of rotating. Zach Jones came in because Lindgren got hurt one game. But we've looked fucking really good. Like,
and Lafreniere is playing with Panarin, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing. So the first line's Capo, Zibanejad, Kreider. You're finally giving Capo Kakko first line minutes, and he doesn't look out of place. Second line's Filipino, Artemi Panarin, Lafreniere. Oh, who would have thought your first and second overall pick should be on the top 2 lines? That's kind of crazy to think about. Third line of Blake Wheeler, Vinny Trocheck, and Will Cooley, who's a rookie, who's tough as fuck, and he scored his first goal the other night against Columbus. A good grinding, heavy third line. And our fourth line's Benino, Barclay Gaudreau, and either Pitlick or Vesey. Like, that's one of the best fourth lines we've had in forever. And this Gustafson kid is fucking sick. Our 6th defenseman, which I know he's going to fuck me at some point because I'm so excited that he's on our team, has played lights out. Like, he's been so fucking good with the puck. Like, I don't know why he didn't have a long-term deal with somewhere. Like, that good. He's not a 6th defenseman. Lindgren went out, they put him with Fox, and I thought he played great. So it's like, it's definitely interesting. Before the start of the season, you remember I was not really all that happy about Rangers. I was almost not looking forward to the season at all. I don't know what the fuck Laviolette did, but I am all aboard the Rangers train. Like, I think that we're going to have a fucking really good year. This is game 3, so we're going to see what happens, but I feel good about it.
Nice, I'm happy for you.
What do you have with the Bees?
So the Bruins have a little bit more than you just had because the Bruins had their opening night. They had the Centennial team, the 100 greatest players, entered through a fan entrance on a gold carpet. And listen, the Bruins are 2-0, and I'm going to talk about that briefly. But this was a big, kind of a big deal. They had for puck drop for the opening night. They had representatives from all the cup teams. So from the teams that won the 2 cups in the 70s, they had Eddie Johnston, Ken Hodge, Jerry Cheevers, Don Marcotte, and Derek Sanderson all there. And then from the 2011 team that beat Vancouver, Sean Thornton, Tim Thomas, Tuca, Krejci, Chara, and Bergeron were all there, which was kind of cool. They all walked out. Then they were all on the ice. Then they had, for the retired numbers, they had Eddie Shore's son, Ted, Lionel Hitchman's granddaughter, Pam, Dick Clapper's grandson, Gregory, Milt Schmidt's daughter.
What's his name?
Dick Clapper. It's Audrey. But
Dick Clapper?
D-I-T.
Oh, my God. I was like, what a fucking name that is. Okay.
Milt Schmidt's daughter, Nancy, walked out, and they were all down on the ice with the players from the cup teams. But then in the first row of the balcony surrounding the rink, they had Ray Bork come out, Terry O'Reilly, Willie O'Ree came in via Zoom from San Diego, Johnny Busick, Cam Neely, Rick Middleton, Phil Esposito, Bobby Orr. They were all there. It was sick. It was just great. Just a nice atmosphere. Allmark played the first game, looked sharp. Then Swayman the next night against the Preds. They both got the dub. Marchand was in top form because he was in Bedard's kitchen every chance he could.
Nothing like picking on a dude who just turned 18.
Yep. Yeah. Well, they're probably the same height. The fourth line of Johnny Beecher, Milan Lucic, and Laco looks really good. Unfortunately, Power Play 2 was better than Power Play 1 in the 2 games I watched. It's weird seeing Pavel Zacha at the bumper instead of Bergeron. That's
Yeah.
going to take some getting used to.
Does he look
And-
okay though? Does he look
No,
comfortable?
he looks
with it?
okay, but I think they're opposite-handed, so it's a little bit of
Different.
adjustment from the sidewall.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Kevin Shattenkirk really stood out to me with his transition and the way he drops in the offensive zone. I know he's going to get in trouble for it, but I like the way he jumps in.
Kirk.
Oh, you don't like Matty P didn't look out of place, and they're going to give him 9 games to see, like they did with Lucic when he came in. But on this West Coast trip, Montgomery said, I think before they left, that he's going to play second line center with Marchand. So that's pretty good.
Cool. Get him some reps.
Yeah, DeBrus, Zacha, and Pasternak looked good when they were together. Like I said, 2-0 on the season. They're headed out on the road. They got 4 games: the Sharks, Kings, Ducks, Blackhawks, before they're back home at the 10/26. They come home. But yeah, nice little. I like when the teams go on these early season.
They don't play. They don't play until the 26th.
No, they're on the road. They have
Okay.
4 games on the West Coast. They come back home for the 26th. They play Thursday out in San Jose.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I like it. I like the early season road trip because especially with new guys, it gets everybody, hanging around, no family nonsense.
That's fair.
The boys will probably have a time out one night in California.
All right. Tell me about Northeastern, dude.
Where's my Northeastern stuff? Oh, so Northeastern.
Are we on a slide right now?
Oh, they lost 1 game on Friday the 13th. I'm chalking it up to Black Cats.
I know, but like they never lose. So like,
No, I know. Trust me, it was very surprising. But they beat BU. They're 3. What are they?
As they should. They should beat BU. Who'd they lose to?
They lost to Penn State and Merrimack. And Merrimack celebrated like they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, they're going to play Merrimack 3 more times, so I'm sure that's coming back.
Did we like curse them?
No. They dropped 3 slots in the standings because of that. They'll be fine. They just got to get it all working out. They'll be fine. The women's national team was announced. Haley Skamura and friend of the podcast, Aaron Frankel, both on the squad. Okay. And the PWHL invited players to training camp that were not drafted, and Lauren McInnes got the nod for the Boston training camp. But they're down at the Icebreaker tournament. I think it's called the Icebreaker tournament down at Sacred Heart. It's like a out of conference thing, and they play Lindenhurst on Friday, and then I forget who they play on Saturday.
When Carp came on, we talked about a lot of like rookies that were going to be on the team, and I'm seeing their names a lot in their posts, so they must be performing well.
So,
like that Peyton girl, isn't there a girl named Peyton?
So it's funny. There's 2 of them, right, that are really popping off. There's Peyton Compton and Allie Lalonde. And
Lalonde, hell yeah, dude.
When I was talking about it with Carp, Compton is more of a 200-foot player, steady Eddie, and they're both very good players. And Lalonde has got speed, and she's got the dangles, and she's an offensive threat. And I said to Carp, I go, is this accurate to say, like, Compton is the one you appreciate, but Lalonde is the one that you'll get you out of your seat, right? And he was like, yeah, I think that's fair. But they're both very, very good players. And they're juggling the lines a little bit, so.
I'm waiting for Katie Knoll to fucking put the team on her back. What's going on, dude?
She's trying, man.
The back of the net.
She hit. I think she caught the crossbar twice on that Friday the 13th game.
Aim a little lower, Katie. What are we doing here? Holy fuck! You don't have to keep aiming high for the sky all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a nice shot right on the ice.
Let's go Bardowski. Yeah, her and Skylar Irving, they are just like I said in my write-up, they're gonna get goals in bunches once they start going.
I think, and I don't want to like steal your thunder, but like when you keep doing these interviews, I would like to pop in for a couple because I had such a good time with those 2. That was all right, cool.
Well, Skylar Irving is going to be the next one on. We got to line it up. She is junior. She's the starting center right now.
Ooh.
First line, so she's going to come on.
Responsibility, 200-foot player there.
I talked to her the other day, and we just got to line it up. But I will let you know.
When you enter, and I don't remember if you do this or not. Like, is a question that you ask, like, if you are to describe yourself as an NHL player, who would you be? Do you ever
ask them like who would you compare your game to?
I think that's a good question because I would love to know those answers.
Yeah. Well, they're so modest, all of them. They all say roughly the same thing. They're like, well, they say the players they admire and who they watched, but then they'll say,
that's the thing because any person who plays sports, you always like like when I played shortstop, I always try to emulate what Jeter would do. Like when I
Right.
played, I would always try to emulate what Sean Avery would do. Like
That's fair.
you know what I mean? Like there was always.
I think they do that. They're just so modest and they're so afraid. I think they don't want that bulletin board stuff, and plus they probably get ripped by their
Fuck
teammates.
the bulletin board thing. I want to know who you want to play like. Like
So
Will
when I
Cooley on
say-
the Rangers, he says he wants to play like Tom Wilson. Please play like Tom Wilson.
So
Please.
I'll always ask them like who do you see yourself as, and then I tell them who I think they play like.
So what's crazy is I've never seen Katie Knoll play, but I hear about the premier power forward thing, and I just can't help but think she's David Backus. Is that like a fucking thing or no? Or is she
That's
more
fair.
finesse?
That's fair.
Because I think
would
premier
say-
power forward, the most premier power forward that I would pick on my team would be fucking David Backus.
Well, that's a generational thing because when they popped on the podcast, I was like, it's Ray Bork and Cam Neely. You know what I mean? That's what I said about them. I think that's fair. I think Katie plays a lot like Iginla did because she plays the wing now.
Okay, that's another good power forward, dude.
And she's. I think Katie's righty. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Northeastern talk, man. I hope Carter's doing great. Meg Carter. I call her Carter because we can do that. We follow each other on Instagram now. So, but yeah, the Huskies, man. I can't wait to go to a game. I'm fucking actually super, super fired up for that. I think
that'll be fun, man. It'll be a good time.
That'll be a really, really good time. Do you want to talk about your credentials, or are we just going to move on?
No, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and get myself in trouble.
I don't know if you're saying the wrong thing. I think it's a flex, dude. Shoot. What do they say?
I got an all access pass.
Fuck yeah, you got an all access pass, as you should.
Which I will not abuse.
You get all the passes that we've got in morning skate, like all these people, dude. I started this thing. I've met a handful of the people who help out at morning skate. Like this is entirely a lot of this is phone calls, text messages, whatever. Brownie's got an all access pass. Richie had a press pass to the Minnesota Wild, which wasn't brought up until at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, he's really low key about that. Yeah.
Can you please go take video with Zuccarello, dude? Like, can you go?
Well, remember, Richie said that he was in the elevator with Billy Guerin.
Like, just casual. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, and I get to interview the players. I'm like, what, dude? Like,
that's the difference of a small market, too, right?
Huge. I was telling, we didn't talk about it on the podcast I was on, but I was telling them, I was like, yeah, I told them how you got your pass, and I told them how like Richie's fucking interviewing like Marc-Andre Fleury and shit. Yeah. And it's like, we had these people so fooled. It's so funny. It's hilarious. That's another thing. I was like, there's no reason a kid from Middle Grove should ever be interviewing Mike Ruzioni or Theo Fleury, but here we are. But yeah, just keep fooling them, dude. Keep on keeping them, right? You give your best 75% so people don't ever expect 100. That's it. All right, beer league roundup. I have unfortunate news. I'm not playing in a league this year.
Why?
I think I missed the cut. Like I thought I talked to the commission. I was like, yeah, I'll be able to make every other week. And then they just had the draft and they're like, yeah, Jimmy's just going to fill in. So.
Oh, she's still playing.
Yeah, but I'm not on a team. This is the first year I've never been on a team.
So you're like what do they call that? A mercenary.
A mercenary, or what's
gun
another
for hire?
What's the word with a ringer? A marine.
Ringer. Yeah.
Yeah. I miss it. I need to get back on the ice as soon as possible. So
we had our first beer league game, which I thought was this coming Sunday. It was last Sunday, and I was in no condition after P-Town, and I did not go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, we didn't get home. I think the game started at like 9. I think I walked in the door at 8:15. It's like a 45-minute ride.
Hey, I have a good idea. So if we go to Northeastern, right, and we go to this game, is there a way Carp can get us like a morning skate?
What do you mean?
Like go out in the morning and skate?
With the team?
Not with the team, but just like us and like Carp.
Oh, on the ice?
Yeah. Dick around. That'd be kind of cool.
That's possible if we pick. I'll have to talk to them. If we pick the right game and they play at night and the ice is made for their morning skate,
that's what I'm saying.
Go in there and hop on at the end of practice for some shit.
Would that not be fucking sick?
We got to be really careful because
I think we're talking. I think we think that we're way cooler than we are right now. But you have an all access pass, so like, just show this Zamboni driver we're getting fucking on at 6:45. That's what it sounds like.
Laney told you could get in that mascot suit, so
I'm in. All right, so that's what we had for beer league. You didn't play. I'm not playing. Hero and Zero.
You know what though? I do have something. I thought this was going to be a much longer podcast. I have something in my back pocket for a very good surprise for you for beer league.
Well, What is it?
Will it be in a future podcast?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some zeros.
What do you got?
Okay.
You want me to go or
boy.
you want to go?
You can go because this is the first I thought about it. Keep going.
So I'm going to do my zero first because I just popped into my head. So remember I went to Detroit a few weeks ago?
Yes. I didn't know you went to Detroit. I knew you went to Michigan, but that makes a lot more sense because Detroit's in Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. So I went to Detroit. We were out there for like 5 days, and I didn't notice it until I got back. People here are not fucking nice.
And yeah, dude, obviously, people here suck. When I went to Nashville, they were the nicest people ever. Came back to Saratoga, everybody had masks on and was like, "You're the worst."
I'm not nice, but I'm talking specifically about driving. So do you know how, like, when you merge, it's supposed to go one lane, one lane, one lane, one lane, one, you know what I mean? The zipper, they call that. Like, you take turns. Like, if 2 lanes are going to 1, right? You with me? If 2 lanes are going to 1.
You didn't watch enough NASCAR, dude. You got to get the pole.
Oh, shut up. But anyways, the way the zipper thing is supposed to work is that you alternate and you move and there's no traffic. We were on Detroit and everybody's doing that. Everybody's the right way. I come back. I was out there for 5 days driving every day and I never beeped the horn once. I was back a half hour and I was like, fuck you, and leaning on the horn. People here are fucking so oblivious and so concerned with just themselves. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so my zero is New England drivers. You suck. Get out of my way.
Okay.
There you go. You want me to do my hero or do you want to go with your zero?
I'll go with this zero, dude. I had to like stay up for like 22 hours yesterday. That really fucking sucked. I had like work and other shit going on. So my zero is just the fact that like
your zero is what? Adult life?
I'm just fucking tired, dude. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, that ever happened to you, bro?
Yeah. That was me last week when we got a podcast. I'm like, buddy, I'm not in the right. I can't.
Yeah, I think that's probably that and like you know when you put like chicken nuggets in the oven, how like you put them on a pan, but sometimes they're stuck together.
Okay.
I couldn't get them separated, so I took a knife and like went to do it. And I cut the fuck out of my finger, but it wasn't like a knife that you think, oh, you'd get cut. It was literally a fucking butter knife, dude. Think about how much.
I got a band-aid on my finger right now.
A butter knife. I butter knifed myself on my middle finger, dude.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
People don't talk about that enough. I could have been seriously injured.
Yeah, could have.
And I'm still here. 2 podcasts one day.
All right. So my hero. Oh boy. I didn't really think this through. Neosia, I'm going to go with Thomason, who owns Ms. Jade's Soul Food in Ohio. She saw a story about a school doing ice cream Fridays for $1, but kids who owed money on their lunch debt card wouldn't be allowed to participate even if they brought cash. So what did she do? She paid off the outstanding balances for every kid in the school so they could all get ice cream. So if you live in the Ohio area, look up Ms. Jade's Soul Food and go support her.
All right. That's a good hero.
Yep.
It's a good hero. My hero goes to my buddy Safi that I work with at work.
That you work with at work?
Okay. Being from upstate New York, there's not a prevalent Muslim population.
Okay.
And with Israel and Hamas and all that stuff going on, Safi's he's Muslim. He's from Algeria. And he's one of the most kind fucking people I've ever met in my entire life. Like, he's 30 years old, never kissed a girl, never did alcohol.
Oh, he's super religious then.
He's Muslim, dude. Like, he prays when we're at work.
We're practicing Muslim.
Yeah, he prays 5 times a day. And he's telling me about all this stuff. I knew nothing about this. So, like, we'll be in work. He's like, I got to go pray. So, you have to wash your hands before you do it. He does his pray thing.
Yeah, face Mecca.
Yeah. And I promise you, I'm not trying to get political with this, but like the Israel Hamas thing going on right now, you have American news. So he's from Algeria. So he speaks Arabic, he speaks French, and he speaks English. So he watches the American news, he watches the French news, and he watches Al Jazeera or whatever. Mm-hmm. And all 3 have very wildly different standpoints about what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
So it's almost like taking things with a grain of salt kind of a thing. And I'm not really all that educated within the Middle East. I know that there's always been like really huge problems.
You need a Rhodes Scholar to really go into it.
But my shout out to him is the fact that like he explains everything from his point of view. You can tell he's a very educated kid. And he's not a dick about it. He says, this is what this people say. This is what this people say. And him and I obviously are aligned on the fact that people shouldn't be dying. Like that's just really, really fucking
You would
sad.
think that would be a pretty baseline for everybody.
It's the worst thing in the world, but it's just really cool because like, dude, there's really no Muslims here. Or, like maybe there are, and I just haven't met any. But just
sure he has a community. I hope he does.
And like, dude, he comes into work and like he'll get halal food. So, do you know anything about halal?
I think so.
So it's chicken. So like our chicken that we eat, they kill them a certain way, but halal is you have to kill them a different type of way. Like they can't be around other animals. I think you have to like whatever. This kid, like, dude, he brings in food all the time for us to try, like his own, like, kind of
good, isn't it?
Like that. Yeah, it is really fucking good. And like, he doesn't have to do that. It's definitely not cheap or anything like that. But I wanted my mom to make lasagna, but I don't know how to find halal food, like, because that's the only food that he can eat or whatever. So I got to figure out.
I bet you can make him a veggie lasagna.
That's sacrilegious, dude. You don't make a veggie lasagna.
But if you can't give him any other meat,
I suppose. But I don't know. Shout out to this kid because
what about stuffed shells?
We could do that. And like he's big into soccer, like that's his thing.
Football.
But like I'm getting him kind of into fucking hockey a little bit. And I told him about Kadri and how he was like the first Muslim.
Yeah. Remember we talked about it. He took it to a mosque.
Yeah. So it's just I guess like my hero's him, and my hero's the fact that like I'm really, and I don't know why it took me this long. Just people live in just way different worlds. Like his world is so much different than mine. And it's like kind of cool to like see like, okay, well, it is different. Why is it different? How is it different? And like he's a good kid. So
shout out to him, and that's got to be hard too. And you know, you talk about everything that's going on in the Middle East, and it's literally we don't realize how good we have it
at all. And he explained the whole Gaza Strip thing. Like people don't realize what the fuck's going on over there. They just they watch the news and they think that's what it is, and it's like it's way more
we work in the toy. We talk about and what we do. It's the toy department.
We are so fucking blessed, and that's what pisses me off about all these people who are like, "Oh, this is the worst. This is the worst." Go over there and tell me this is the fucking worst.
Yeah.
You have no problems if that's what you're complaining about.
Yeah, fair.
So shout out to him for the perspective, and like Brownie, you would love him. He's funny as shit too. Dude.
Bring him on. Bring him on. We can talk about the Middle East.
He's asked to come on. Maybe we can get him to come on.
It might not be a bad call with everything that's going on.
He's just he's a great kid, and I felt like I needed to shout him out because.
Wait a minute. Is he a fucking Rangers fan on top of this?
No, he doesn't follow hockey at all. He doesn't follow hockey.
He's a free agent, is what I'm hearing.
Essentially, yeah, but like sometimes we don't have anything going on, so like I pop the game on and he's like asking questions. I'm like trying to explain to him like this and this and that, and like he's just
wait a minute.
His energy. He just has really, really good.
So he lives by you, right?
No, so I work like 35 minutes away. He lives down there,
but in your area.
Yeah.
And when we go to Northeastern, we're gonna need a camera guy.
He would, dude. Honestly, he would probably do it. He sometimes he's almost too smart for his own good. And like I'm asking him, I'm like, so dude, when you pray, like, do you talk out loud? And he's like quietly. I'm like, okay, well, what language do you do it? Because I always wondered that. Like, you're from Algeria, you speak 3 languages. Like, when you're thinking, like, what language are you thinking in? You know what I mean?
That's not a bad question.
And he's like, it's Arabic, and he explains everything. And like, dude, Algeria had some really fucked up shit happen when he was a kid, and just like, just the way he just explains everything, and he doesn't make me feel like I'm a fucking idiot. And it's
no, that's fine. Well, he's treating you with respect. Well, remember when
I don't know anything about that.
When I asked Alina and Chloe, remember I asked them what language they dreamed in. So it's not a bad question.
It's just the whole fucking perspective thing's crazy. Like I really kind of figured out that I just kind of live in a bubble, dude. It's hockey, Chipotle, my friend's girlfriend, and that like in the Rangers, and like you. Welcome to the bubble. And my mom's Christmas cookies. Like that's about it. And like there's just so much more going on in the world, and it's cool. It's and something else that we do is we grease the pipes. That's what we say. We always do crosswords. Like when it gets slow at work, like we'll just start hammering crosswords.
Have you tried this mini crossword puzzle for the New York Times, the daily mini thing?
I feel like I don't know if we do New York Times. We do USA Today, and the dictionary.com one's crazy. And also I can't just shout out Safi without shouting out my boy Kendall, my boy Adam, my boy Corey, and my boy Joe. Like everybody on my shift is fucking sweet. I work a really blue collar job where like you kind of just go and you do your work and you're leaving. What I realize is if you're working with cool people in this job, it makes your job way better than if you're working with kids. Because it's literally you go in, you do your shit and you leave, but like they're all really cool and they're fucking awesome. So just shout out. I'm actually enjoying my job for the first time in a really long time. So
that's good, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
So here's and zeros done.
There you go.
Oh boy, 3 stars. All right, 3 stars of
This
the
was
year.
yours, so explain.
That was a crazy hero, by the way. I can't believe I told
Yeah,
you.
that's good though.
All right, so I went on a podcast today. Did you know that?
I did.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you told me.
Well, I went on a podcast. It's called On the Money Line. Go on Instagram at On the Money Line. It's fucking cool. They do gambling. We do hockey. I was wondering if you and I were to form a different podcast that was not hockey related, what would it be? So we're gonna do 3
Oh, was
stars.
you and I?
No. Like
Oh.
your own, whatever. So
All
what's
right, sorry.
your third star?
My third star. I don't know what I would call it, but this is the idea that this is the name that popped in my head. Advice for idiots.
Okay.
Remember we talked a while back, like I need to teach a course on how to be an adult, right? Remember, like how to tie a tie?
Yep.
There are so many people that are fucking morons that I interact with on a daily basis. I think they need a hotline to call in so I can basically tell them, pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah.
We could
that would be so good for you and your psyche, dude. You would fucking love that. You'd be like, you're a fucking idiot, and this is why.
We could call it Red Foreman. What was that?
Red Foreman podcast. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's good, dude. My third star is going to be there's a store in upstate New York, probably all about New York, really. It's like a convenience store / gas station. It's called Stewart's. You ever heard of it?
Oh yeah.
I wish that I could just do a Stewart's podcast where like we would kind of go
Stewart's.
About Stewart's, the people who go to Stewart's, like it's just such
recipes,
hot dogs, like whatever it would be, like, and bring on different people. Like it sounds so dumb. It actually sounds really dumb. I should probably stop talking about it. But like that's just a store that I fucking love, and I love to do a Stewart's podcast.
There you go. Well, my number 2 star is an idea that was floated to me by a friend. It's called, because I own a painting company, so it's called Paintcast the Podcast. And his idea was that he and I work together with like lavalier mics, the little lapel ones, and we work and we just talk because we have a pretty good banter. And then you would hear the ASMR of like the rollers going and the paint buckets getting dipped and everything. And the hook is we would never show pictures of the job we did, and we would never say the color that we did, or maybe just the name or something. I forget how he said it. The downside of this idea of his is that getting him to work for me is like a nuclear launch. You would think I don't pay him when he does, but I do pay him very well for what he contributes.
He's probably just worried that the American's gonna fucking alpha the British dude. That'd be my
So yeah, it has that one's on the back burner, but that's my number 2. Paintcast the Podcast.
All right, my number 2 star. I started listening to this podcast. You know who Theo Von is?
Theo Von.
He's the comedian with the mullet. He's fucking hilarious, dude.
Okay.
I've been listening to him. I've been listening to a lot of Shane Gillis. Do you know who he is?
Mm-mm.
He's another comedian. He got canceled from Saturday Night Live, and now he's like, dude, he has a Netflix special. If you get a chance, fucking watch it. Like,
right.
I think it'd be cool to have a podcast and just bring on strictly nothing but comedians and just hear about how they got to where they're at. I'm sure there's probably a podcast.
There's a lot of comedian podcasts,
but for my like make me happy, it'd be really cool because they're hilarious and they're like cool dudes, and it'd be like just shooting the shit and like you get a couple laughs and that'd be it.
Nice.
So that'd be my third star.
So my number 1, and this is something you can all look forward to, maybe this winter. We already have a name. It's called Why You're Wrong.
Coming to headphones near you.
Yeah, it's called Why You're Wrong, and it's me and Alistair Poppycock, played by my buddy Snoop. So it's the 2 of us, and the plan is, like I told you, he's a huge hockey fan, loves the Bruins. Gun to his head, I don't think he can name 6 guys on the roster.
All right, let me try.
Him or you?
Me. Zaka, McAvoy, Omar, Swayman. Oh yeah, I can do DeBrusque.
Oh, you can.
Martian,
there's no way he knows who Pavel Zaka is. He would
say, "Is this the Revolutionary War, dude?"
Yeah, this is him.
Shocking.
So he and I. This is called Why You're Wrong, and the plan is to go, hey Brownie, what's going on with the Bruins? And I catch him up on what's happened since we last talked, and then we've gone back and forth either 2 or 3 items that we have to argue and defend. I think it'd be pretty funny.
I think it would be. I just
So we're gonna try it. We'll see what
so
happens.
you're having a Bruins podcast, essentially what it is.
No, because it'll be like it literally is gonna be like me explaining algebra to a fucking puppy is what it's gonna be like.
I'm sure he's gonna appreciate that.
He's gonna listen to this tomorrow.
My number one star, I'd love a slow pitch softball podcast.
Oh my god.
It is slow pitch softball. The people that go to slow pitch softball. How do I describe this? You ever go to Walmart?
Yeah.
You ever see like the super aggressive people at Walmart?
What do you mean aggressive? How?
Just like you can just tell, like there's something to them.
Okay, I guess. Yeah.
Like people watching in Walmart, that person that you're watching is probably bad in the 6th hole in slow pitch softball. Like these people are fucking crazy, dude. They're nuts. And like to get free shit and just to hear different stories, they love like. I'm in a slow pitch softball league. I kind of want to do a slow pitch softball podcast for this specific league next year because I know everybody will listen to it and I know everybody want to hear all the stories that they had. Like it would be unbelievable. So that'd be my number one star.
I do have an honorable mention. I thought of it when we were talking. I think it would be cool to do, and I'm sure there are, but I think it would be cool. And I know we said no hockey, but it would be cool to do a women's hockey podcast focused on just women's hocky and the Huskies.
That's a no fucking brainer, dude. You should fucking do that.
That'd be cool.
You should 100% do that. And I want to just focus. I want to focus straight on because we already kind of do that. I'm not too familiar with like women's hockey, but like I haven't heard of a women's hockey podcast. So like,
well, I don't know if we're looking for it either. So
I guess, but I don't know. All right, guys, hour 23 minutes. How do you feel?
Pretty good. And hey, for those that have stuck with us patient wise with our not having podcasts out, hockey season's here. She's going to be hearing the dulcet tones of Ket and Brownie on a weekly basis on the reg. So
this Rangers team is going to get me so unhinged. I can already tell.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to have some wild fucking mood swings throughout this season.
Oh, yeah, dude. Right now, I think we're winning the cup. Talk to me next week when we go 0-3 because Jonathan Quick can't stop a beach ball.
This is why I picked the Bruins as my wild card team.
I thought about picking the Rangers as my wild card team, but just in the first 3 games, dude, they look so fucking good.
Oh, God.
So, I don't know. It's just, it's nice to see a team with structure.
Oh, hey, speaking of Quick, did you see that the Columbus gave him a video for the hour he was a Blue Jacket? I thought that was great.
I don't know. Like,
no, dude, that's funny. So that's cool. Engagement. That's good. I like that. That's good.
I thought the Fantilli video that they did with him was cool.
Yeah, that kid Fantilli is going to be something.
He'll be good. That Cooley kid's going to be fucking really good, dude.
Yeah.
I think Arizona is finally getting some pieces together. They're still.
What's Cooley? You think Cooley? You should have asked your odds guys. What's Cooley for Calder?
Oh, it's Bedard. Bedard's winning the Calder.
I think there's going to be some writers that are it's going to be the bounce back. Like, fuck this kid. He's got to earn it.
Probably because they're too focused on all the fucking extracurricular shit in hockey, not watching the fucking game.
Maybe, but that's why I got Devin Levi. I think I got him at plus 1,200.
I mean, if he goes off. But there's no way Bedard doesn't win. There's no way.
I don't know. You want to do a 2-0 Taco Bell?
I love Taco Bell, dude. All right, guys, that's a podcast. Brownie, what else you got?
Nothing. Listen, hey, we'd love to see you out at the rink. If you see me at Matthews, please say hello. If you see Ket at Matthews,
go the other way.
Gasp and faint. Go Bruins, go Rangers, and as always, God bless you, Jerome McGinley.
Ken, if you're listening to this, make sure you clip the Go Rangers part that he just said, and I'm going to put out a video of him saying that 1,000 times in a row. Put on YouTube. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We're going to talk to you soon. It's hockey season. Let's go. So until next time, see you guys later.
That's it.